I knew that music was going like this, for hip hop, but it took too long for like the actual evidence, but just last year, hip hop dropped out of the #1 spot. You have to understand that like hip hop was built as an institution. Like, even though no one physically said hip hop is this, it's an institution, but there were unspoken rules put into place. Number one, you don't bite nobody else's rhymes. You don't try to sound like nobody else. And
no one can write for you. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the B4Real Podcast. Today, I always say this. I need to figure out another way to say it, but I got something special today because we have a good friend of mine, artist, songwriter, entrepreneur, Nusoul, man.
What's happening?
What's going on, man? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know about you, but let's just tell the world about yourself.
So I'm an artist, songwriter, entrepreneur from Beaumont, Texas. Just last year, I founded Black Coffee. Funk.
That's a band, right?
That's a band. Yeah, super group, really. But I've just been doing stuff around Beaumont for years and years, long time.
I've been watching, like, speaking of what you're saying, like, I've been watching you develop as an artist from all these years. I think I've been knowing you almost 8 to 10 years.
10.
Okay, 10? Man,
10.
Time been going by, and I remember you saying, man, I'm a rapper, I do this, to that, starting by yourself, getting your lyrics down. I remember when everything was just on paper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's still on paper.
It's on paper, but
it's like stuff out there.
Yeah, you're building it into. But continue. Go, like, what else?
I remember back then, when we first met, I wanted to do so many different things.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the content creation, which I'm getting back into that now. I wanted to be an artist. I just wanted to be like, jack of all trades type deal, and I'm starting to really find my niche, I think. I finally found that area where I can really feel comfortable to create.
And I feel like that's a thing with us. Like, we want to do a lot of things, but we have to find that medium to where it's something that we can not only do but be consistent doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm getting into where I'm finding that, and you say you are as well. So as far as like Black Coffee, what other things are you doing as far as musically?
So musically, of course, I'm still recording, still performing, just doing a whole lot of stuff. I'm starting my podcast next month. I can't wait. I've been looking at you and what you're doing with the B4Real Podcast, man. I got to give it up to you before we go any further, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Like, this is a beautiful, beautiful platform. I'm really proud of the work that you're doing, bro.
Just trying to be consistent.
I see it on the board right there. Consistency, brother.
Consistency.
You doing a damn thing, dog.
And not being afraid of denial, because I get a lot of that doing the podcast. I'll reach out to artists or even just an entrepreneur. They'll seem like they want to, then they'll ghost you. But this year I told myself, man, I said, you know what, I want to deserve everything that I asked for this year, and also I want to put myself in people's faces and make them tell me no.
Exactly.
Like, if you never say no, that means the door is still open. So like, if I ask you something and you bluff it, you just bluffed it. Maybe you got busy, maybe, you know what I'm saying, but when I see you again, we're going to talk about this.
Exactly.
Just tell me no.
Exactly.
Just tell me.
Exactly.
And I'll leave you alone. But until you do that,
But that closed door could be another open one over here. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. But unless you put yourself out there enough to get that no, and then you get the, the open door over here, you're going to be stuck. So I like what you're doing, bro. Keep applying that pressure, bro.
Not being scared to just talk to people, basically. Because I was for a long time being prideful. Being prideful. But anyway, so back to the band and things like that you do. I want to give you your props because you're doing something that a lot of people are scared to do, and that's get on that stage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like me, I do music. Other people do music, but it's a different thing when you can swallow your pride, put yourself at risk.
Literally.
Like this is it's already a risk enough clicking submit when you putting your single out, your song out, like letting everybody judge it. But you are physically getting on that stage
in front of thousands of people.
You might be hoarse today.
Literally all the time.
You might be hoarse today. You might forget the words.
Nah.
But you put yourself out there and you like, man, God be with me. When I get on this stage, I'm going to leave it out. I'm going to give it my best. And that's why I commend you with that. Because people be telling me, man, K Brew, they call me K Brew. 3 days, you're talented. You can do this and that. But in my head, I'm just like, but there's a realm that I haven't reached. like getting on that stage and being comfortable with myself. So how do you get that comfortability? Where did that come from?
Honestly, man, that's where I started. I started on the stage.
Okay.
One of my first experiences with music was on the stage at the church. Everybody done it. If you do music, you've been in church.
Yeah, I was in the choir, but I was one of the. Well, I did lead songs.
Exactly. So,
well, I think as a kid, you don't have. Okay, so as a kid, you have a certain sense of. You're not shame in a way,
right? Because you don't know what that is yet.
Yeah, you don't know what. Yeah,
you don't know what that is yet.
What people can think.
Exactly. Like you haven't really been hit with that reality yet.
That people are judging you.
And when you haven't hit that judgment, thing from adults. I'll be honest with you. Like it gives you that sense of just how ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you have like a sense of freedom.
It's a big freedom. And what I had the privilege of. When I hit the stage for the first time, I was actually good at it. So I was encouraged to keep getting on the stage. I was one of those kids that always got the solos in church, always got the lead. And it wasn't because like it was favoritism. It's because I'm the only one that was like.
You would actually do it.
I would do it. And I didn't have that wall up that most kids have. Like they see the people and they go.
They do this, or they forget the words, or
exactly
something that they've been practicing, they forget it.
Exactly.
So you was there Easter Sunday,
Easter Sunday, Christmas.
Instead of the 8-word speech, you had the 16, 20.
I had the whole dialogue. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus died for our sins, and he came back and married. Oh, okay. So you was that when you didn't have 2 words.
I had like 8, 20, 16. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like all that.
So basically, getting on the stage is that's just what you do.
Yeah, I mean, and you continue to develop it as you continue. Like my first experience was at the church, and then after that, 3rd grade talent show. Never forget this shit. I did Michael Jackson's PYT. My first standing ovation ever. You know what I'm saying? I was 7 years old. And watching the people who were just sitting down all rise up at the same time and give me that cheer.
That praise, yeah.
Yeah, like it was nothing like it from there. I was just hooked.
Okay, so but here's my thing. Like as an adult, like how are you, because you know how adults think.
Yeah, of course.
Especially in our area, a lot of people may not listen to the music that you're performing. So how are you getting over the bridge of, okay, this is what I do, you either gonna love it or not? I
mean, honestly, man, that's the mentality I have. Either you love it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because you're doing what you love to do.
I love this. You know, I don't care if you love it. Like, I don't do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're entertained, your entertainment's a byproduct of my joy. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a byproduct of how I truly feel. You see me on stage, I'm jumping around, I'm spinning.
That's really you.
It's really who I am. This person that you're talking to right now, this is Chris. You know what I'm saying? On stage, I'm Nusoul. That's my alter ego. You know what I'm saying? It's so different.
So you tap into like another form.
Yeah, basically. I'm not the same person on stage than I am off. You know, and I can kind of hide behind that. Like this is me, but it's not me.
But here's the thing, like, because I had the experience of seeing you one time. It seemed like every time you performing, I'm at work or doing something. But anyway, I got a chance to see you, and I was just like, okay, I'm looking at you online on clips, and I'm just looking at the audience. It's a good 50, maybe 60, 100 people sometimes, right? And you're just going at it, and you giving it your all. But when I went to go see you, it was like 20 or less. But you was still like, how do you like? You say, you know what? It's only 20 people here, 15 people here.
It don't matter if it's 5.
As if
it don't matter if it's 5 people. It's just that sincere love for what I do. You know, I tell people this all the time, man. Like what I do, it's my identity. It's part of my identity. Like this is really who I am when I'm not. Like when I'm in my room, I watch clips of other artists performing, and I learn as much as I can. And I watch interviews, and I really get into the mindset of the people that I love. And I'm like, I study all the time, you know. And I thought this was a phase when I was a kid. I thought, okay, I'm watching these concerts with my mama, but when I get older, I'm gonna find something else. I never found nothing else. I still watch this. That's it.
Wow.
You know, so it don't matter if it's 5 people, 20 people. It could be 20,000 people. Like I said, your entertainment's a byproduct of my joy. I love what I do. I don't care how many people it is. It's an audience. You know what I'm saying? And you paid your hard-earned money to come and see me perform, just like everybody else in that room pay their hard-earned money to see me perform. I'm gonna give it everything I got. You know. And
I noticed that because some of your clips, I said, because in the beginning you were just rapping, but you've been incorporating dance.
Yeah.
Within the last year and a half, I noticed you've been incorporating.
Actually, within the last 4 years.
Well, I guess now it's becoming more seasoned to where I'm noticing it.
Yes,
it's good now.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
You know, when I have another band that I perform with named Far Cry. It's a cover band. I joined them back in 2016. And when I joined the band at first, you know, it was just to be the hype man, you know, because
like just ad libs.
Just ad libs, you know. If there's a
crowd involved,
if there's a rap verse in this R&B song, then I come do that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Gotcha. And I might have had 2 songs every show, but what I brought to the table was a concert experience. I wouldn't just come do the rap, go sit down, be like, yo, make some noise, put your hands up, and I might tell the audience to say something, repeat after me, some type of shit like that. It's just, can I curse? I'm sorry.
Oh, you good.
My bad. But like, just, I don't know, man. Like, the dance has always kind of been a part of it, you know. Like R&B makes you dance anyway. So,
oh yeah, hip hop. It's one of
most definitely,
basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give the people the 5.
I mean, yeah, you have to.
You can't remember them?
What?
The 5, what you call them? Hip hop.
The top 5?
Yeah.
My Mount Rushmore changes every 5 seconds, man. It depends on my mood. Rakim stays at number 1.
Okay.
He's the teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like after Rakim came along, everything changed. Number 2, I would say Nas.
Okay. Nas is a great storyteller.
Nas is amazing. Okay. Nas is, you know, and the reason I have Nas as my number 2 is because just like when Rakim came out, he changed the game. When Illmatic came out, it changed everything. Man.
See, because I'm not fond of the history, but I've seen interviews where people talking about it, and I've listened. I'm like, the impact these guys made was crazy. So you got Nas in there. I
got Rakim. I got Nas. Right after Nas is, of course, Jay. You can't exclude Jay-Z anymore. My number 4 is controversial, but this is my child pick. Like, Tech Nine is one of my favorite artists of all time.
Dang, how did I forget?
Tech Nine is one of my, and you know what? The dancing came from him. You know, I used to watch his.
Never watched him on stage.
You got to watch him on stage, y'all. It's so different.
And I used to listen to Tech.
Yeah, but you know, when Tech came out, he was so different, and his stage show was really what attracted people.
Oh, okay.
And so he would dance on stage, and he had choreography, and I'm like, oh, I got to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool as fuck. And my number 5 is me.
Oh, this boy put himself in the top.
I had to, man, because you haven't
too much
seen
hard working.
Way too much
to not give yourself credit.
Exactly.
But you know what? A lot of people, they account being like an artist, a rapper, as being super, super famous. But that's not. You got to understand. There's ways to maneuver through this art community, music, hip hop space, and you're not a superstar. Everybody's not going to be a superstar.
No,
but you can rock shows.
Absolutely,
and you can make money.
Absolutely,
you can rock shows. Like there's people who's really don't have to have a job making $80,000+ a year, which may not seem like a lot, but that's a lot when you're doing what you love.
Yeah, that's more money than most people make working a real 9 to 5.
Yes, because I was I don't know what I was watching. I was watching a podcast. He's an artist and he's not famous. I forget his name, but he said that he's making $60,000 a year.
Yeah,
and he said it's not a lot, but he doesn't have to go to work, and he doing what he loves every. You
can live comfortably. Day. You can pay your bills. You know, you can take care of your family.
But again,
on this.
Mind you, he performs with like, I would say 6 to 8 bands, but he still gets to do what he loves.
The musicians in my band but they play for like, you know, one of them plays for like 3 different churches. The other one plays for 2 different churches. My drummer, you know, kind of just floats. It happens, you know, it truly happens, man. But again, when you love this thing,
man,
like
it's nothing compared.
Nothing.
You can't compare
absolutely nothing. But I'm getting to a point, or I'm working to get to a point where I can make my money or earn a living just doing music. You know, just flat out.
I mean, well, the first thing you gotta do is try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta keep doing it.
Step number 1.
Step number 1. Keep on doing it. That's the thing. Because a lot of people get to, and we've all been in that situation to where we're doing something that's working and is doing good, and we lack consistency, and we're like, man, this ain't working, man. That's where I was a long time ago. But now I'm just like, it's because you're caring too much about the outcome.
Yep.
You're caring too much about the outcome instead of saying, let me make this, what I'm doing today, better than it was yesterday.
Exactly.
And just do that every day.
Every day.
Just do that every day.
Every day. You know, but it all boils down to how bad do you want it for real. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I want this thing so bad, like, I could live below my means for a year if it means that I'm going to get to a level where or longer. If it means that I can get to a point where I'm living the dream, I'm on tour, I'm, you know, I always told myself, I'm not stopping until I'm in the O2 Arena in London. I'm not. Because that's my, and even then I'm not gonna stop, but like that's my end game. You know, Michael Jackson was about to do his residency at the O2, and I'm like, all right, when I get on, I got to do whatever I got to do to honor what he was gonna put down at the O2 Arena. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, just work at it.
And then a lot of artists and entrepreneur type people, like you get that dog into you where you're just literally willing to not have in order to have. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, living way below your means.
Way below.
And taking a job for time instead of money. Yep. Like you'll take a job that's paying $13 an hour when you could have got one with 22.
Yeah.
Because this job gives you more time.
You know how many times people done told me they can get me on at the plant, and I just told them like,
you don't
if
have time to do what you love.
You don't, but your time don't belong to you. Is for the plant now, because if you not on call, if they call you in, say, hey, look, Jonathan can't come in. We need you to come work this shift. Man. If you say no, they ain't finna offer you nothing else.
That, and a lot of them work 10, 12, 11. I know people working 7, 12s.
I know people working 16 hours a day.
And didn't get off day for 2 months type stuff. And it's like, literally, when do you have time to do art? When do you have time to build for yourself like you're doing for them? Mm-hmm. Never.
And even if you do have enough time, bro, like, you know, it's such an energy consumer. You get off work, even if you get off at a decent time, you got the rest of the day to yourself, right? You sit down and you just...
Yep. And then they pay you just enough not to quit. But
you get real comfortable.
I work just enough not to get fired. No, but seriously,
boy,
though,
you sound like me,
man. No, but seriously though, it's like you put so much effort and time into these places, and you can't. And then the thing about music and art stuff, you have to be inspired. Yeah. What is inspiring you going to work every day?
It don't.
To the same place every day. It's sometimes I'll go to the park for no reason, just to sit, trying to find inspiration for a song. Trying to find it, because I don't know how you believe it, but in my belief system, when it comes to music, I believe that like no song is mine. I didn't come up with it. I believe that it's out there. I gotta go get it. Yep. And I'm grabbing it. Yep. And I'm giving it to the world. Like I believe that all the songs are already written. Mm-hmm. That's just my belief.
I have one particular song that's like that. It's called Third Degree. It was on the Formidable album. I don't remember writing it. I literally, I went to sleep.
I get that.
I went to sleep one time and I woke up. My notebook is right here. And I'm like, hey, this song kind of cool, bro.
Have you ever woke up with a song in your head?
Yeah.
That's crazy, huh? Yeah. Like I woke up, and that's the beauty of just like recording yourself. Like I woke up, like, don't talk about me. Didn't brush my teeth. I went, I sat down, and I recorded a song.
Yep.
Whole song.
Right.
That was in my head.
Yeah.
Hook, verse. I'm like, how did I? And then the whole day, I'm just thinking, like, I made a song. And if you want to know what song that was Delusional. It's out right now.
Noise. Go stream that
one.
It's
out right now. But anyway, yeah. So, like, I'm just like, man, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
When you're an artist, it's like, things just come to you.
When I look at, you know, my notebook, and it's fun to watch me kind of work out an idea in real time. I might write a line, scratch it out, write another line. It might be similar to the one I just wrote, but it wasn't there when I said that. I got to word it a little differently here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then I keep going. I might have like 4 lines scratched out before I finally get it.
My thing is, like, I love words. Yeah. Like, it's like people don't understand, like, a song. Like, I want lines in songs that's like, dang, how did you come up with? How did you say that? Why did you say it like that? Like just
what made you say that?
Yes, like how did you? Because you know every song is the same. It's only so many things we can talk about: hate, love. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's talking about love, but what can you say that's different?
But you know, even deeper than that, every genre of music is given 12 notes to work with. You only have 12 notes. And it's been the same since the beginning of music. It hasn't changed. So you got to figure out a way that you can use these 12 notes to create something that wasn't already here before, that can move the needle of the culture. I know with me, myself, man, like I don't make music that just is supposed to be for the moment. I make music that's supposed to last for a while. Timeless. Because, man.
That's why, like, a lot of times I don't like saying dates and stuff. I don't like saying stuff like that unless I have to. But I don't really like saying.
Like you can reference
an anthem. It may be an anthem,
of course,
for that moment in time.
Yeah, but again, it's a moment in time. It's like a snapshot of a moment in time. You know, like that's cool. Like that's what's going on by Marvin Gaye is really. You know what I'm saying? Because it was really about the Vietnam War. But then like you look at the lyrics and you see, you know, what life is now, you're like, damn, that's still relevant.
And you know what's crazy? Before I was a lyric listener to her, a lyric digester.
Yeah, I like
listening to what's going on.
Yeah,
is like you're not feeling how he wanted you to. Well, what I'm trying to say, because it's about the Vietnam War.
Yeah,
but like you can listen to what's going on as like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But when you become a lyric digester,
right,
you be like, man, what's going on?
Right, and you start like noticing shit like, ooh. You know,
man,
like
that's not nothing to dance to.
Well, okay, I'll give you a really good example. So this woman's work by Maxwell is about a woman dying during childbirth, and people don't know that. And you know how many times I've used that song to get a girl?
Wow,
boy.
What's that line?
Pray God you can cope. I'll stand outside this woman's work.
What's
this woman's work? This woman's work.
Is that No. The one R. Kelly wrote is "Pretty Wings" by
He didn't.
Pretty Wings. R. Kelly wrote "Pretty Wings."
He didn't write Wings. He didn't write "Pretty Wings." That was 2012.
No, he did.
Pretty Wings.
I could have sworn. Let's look it up.
You're talking about Fortunate. Fortunate to have you, girl.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I thought he wrote.
No. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I'm wrong because he didn't write Fortunate, but he did write a song from that era by Maxwell. I think it's Lifetime.
Let's see.
It is Lifetime.
It's the
B4Real
Podcast. We pulling out phones here. That's fine because we're being for real. That's fine.
Maxwell.
It's a song that R. Kelly wrote for Maxwell.
Yeah, it's
I thought it was Pretty Wings.
It's not Pretty Wings. It is it's Lifetime.
Okay.
I will let my life pass me by. I remember that because I was like, wait, R. Kelly wrote this deep ass shit? Because it's a deep song.
R. Kelly can write though.
I know he can write, but he just ignorant, you know. It's not Lifetime. No. I think it is.
I don't want to touch too much on that topic. Yeah. Let's just say this. Here's my belief. I believe everybody around him knew he was doing it. And I believe the parents knew it was happening, but their daughters didn't get famous. The money ran out. And now they suing.
Told.
That's what
and
happened.
Now they suing. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what happened.
Same thing with Bill Cosby.
Like, because think about it. I don't care if it was Tank, Michael Jackson, I don't care. I'd never let my daughter go on tour with no grown man without me present. I
wouldn't let my son go on tour with no famous person, without me present.
Daughter,
it don't matter.
Or somebody who represents me.
Exactly.
Like, because say I have to work, and that's understandable. But I'm going to send someone
in your place to make sure that your son and your daughter is cool. Yes. Because this industry is just too much, man.
It's
like
too much, man.
And what the crazy part is, I always knew that it was some stuff like this going on, but
it was always talked about.
Yeah, always.
But lately, things are, and 2024 is like the year of truth. In these last 2024 is the year, but in these last like 5 to 8 years, things have been. People get in trouble.
And you know what's funny? I called it 8 years ago. I called it 8 years ago.
8 years. You see what I'm saying?
I called it 8 years ago. I was on social media. Everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody talking about, man, you don't know nothing. And look what's going on. Matter of fact, that's not the only thing that I called. I called the state of hip hop going down. When mumble rap and swag rap started getting, and you know this because we had debates like this. We had debates like this, like back when we first started hanging out. I knew that music was going like this, for hip hop, but it didn't take. It took too long for like the actual evidence, But just last year, hip hop dropped out of the number one spot. As the top selling genre of the year.
I think hip hop is becoming I wouldn't say washed out, but I think a big reason for hip hop, not just the mumble rap, the decline in hip hop, the big reason is like the melodic input.
Yeah.
The melodic input.
Because you're blurring the lines,
Yeah. So it becomes to where like, okay, now is this hip hop? You see what I'm saying?
And people can get mad at the gatekeepers all they want to, but you have to understand that like hip hop was built as an institution. Like, even though no one physically said hip hop is this, it's an institution. But there were unspoken rules put into place. Number one, you don't bite nobody else's rhymes. You don't try to sound like nobody else. You know,
and no one can write for you.
Nobody can write for you.
This is not R&B. I can go write a record for Chris Brown. That's fine.
Yeah.
Chris Brown can have a group of 7 writers.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He's also a pop star.
Yeah, that's fine because a hit song, R&B wise, 9 times out of 10, it has to take writers.
Right. It's cooler when you can do it yourself, but most of the time
it doesn't matter.
It don't.
But when you say you're an MC, a rapper,
right,
you have to use your own pen.
Especially when you say you an MC.
Now, if you just say you're an artist and you just happen to rap, let Billy Joe write your bars.
And that's why people give me so much flack.
When you say you rap better than somebody, you have to prove it.
Put your pen to your pad.
Speaking of that, Nusoul.
Okay.
Let's talk about J. Cole.
I knew he was going to ask me this shit.
Listen, here's my belief.
Go ahead.
Boy, why you apologize? My opinion is, and everybody want to say, they want to say, all right, man, he just keeping down the beef, man. We be killing too many people dying out here and all this.
But what nobody gonna die in that beef?
Nobody's gonna die. This is my thing, bro. If you say you rap better than somebody, you gotta prove it
and stand on it.
You gotta stand on it. It's just rap. I feel like that's what's wrong with hip hop today because we don't have that. Back in the day, I wasn't there, but I watched footage.
Yeah.
You say you can rap somebody. I mean, you would say you can rap better than somebody. Let's go to the streets, make a mosh pit, get in the circle, and prove this. Now they're rapping about, well, they always rap about guns and violence, but now they're fighting over guns, violence, women, drugs, and stuff like that. That's why people are getting pop. They was getting shot back in the day. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is the essence of hip hop is lost when you got rappers out here scared to rap.
Yeah. But you know, we keep moving the goalposts. Here's why they're scared to rap. Because they can't rap. That's why they're scared to rap. They can't fucking rap. Listen to me. It's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? We keep telling these people that you don't have to be all lyrical, spherical, miracle, you know, whatever. And you keep creating these little Fisher Price ass rappers. It's not the fault of the rapper. You let them in. The labels let them in. So you want better. It starts with the listener. You want better rappers, listen to better rappers. Killer Mike fucking exists. You also have Rapsy that fucking exists. If you're tired of the slut rappers, then go listen to the female rappers that ain't talking about that type shit. I'm talking to y'all audience because I hear so many complaints about it. But my thing is, you could have been done something about this shit. Matter of fact, Kendrick had a line on the To Pimp a Butterfly album. People talking about they miss when hip hop was rapping. Motherfucker, if you did, then Killer Mike will be platinum. And that's the truth.
Let's talk about Killer Mike for instance.
Yes, sir.
I've been listening to Killer Mike. Killer Mike is nice. I'm not gonna say I was listening to him every day, but I always knew he was nice.
Right.
But I have to admit that does he deserve a Grammy? Yes. Did it happen out of nowhere? Yes. Do you agree with that?
I think
is that the system doing that?
No. No.
My opinion is he deserves his Grammy.
Yes.
But the timing and his popularity, I don't think it was there to get it. I feel like he deserved it, but they did it.
I think that in music, especially now, you know, all you got to do is be in the right place at the right time. Okay. Do the right feature, make the right appearance, go on the right podcast, and make some noise. Exactly. Okay. And it's not even just that, but like Killer Mike, when he made the Michael album, first of all, you know I listened to it. I jammed that shit backwards and forwards. Dog, the amount of production quality alone, like, deserved the Grammy.
Well, the thing about it is, as far as hip hop, I'm not talking about R&B or pop.
Right.
That album was like the first album we've actually gotten in a long time, since probably Pimp a Butterfly, or since
I would say since KOD.
Okay,
I would say since KOD,
because like we get albums, but these things that we're getting from rappers called albums now just feeling like a collection of songs.
Yes,
but his album felt like I don't know if you like Drake. You don't like Drake.
I mean,
anyways, the way Take Care made me feel.
Okay.
I'll give you that one. You got to give me Take Care.
Of course.
The way Take Care made me feel like I was in an experience. Killer Mike, his album was an experience, which a hip hop album is supposed to was technically supposed to be. An album was supposed to be an audio movie.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to make you feel something, sometimes it make you see something. That's crazy. It make you see something. And that's what he did. So when he got on stage, every platform he got on and he said it with confidence, I had the best hip hop album of this year
and that's
the last 5 years.
That's what got the noise.
Yeah, but when he said stuff like that, he was accurate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Accurate as hell. But nowadays, man, streaming has a lot to do with this, but I also feel like it's the attention span of the listeners. We can't. It's hard to hold the attention.
Songs are 1:30 sometimes.
TikTok has ruined us.
I just released a song called Like This, and I was pissed that it was 3 minutes and something.
Really?
Pissed.
That's average.
A 3-minute song, bro,
is normal as fuck.
That's crazy. No, in today's world,
I know it. I
need
understand.
a 2 minute and 20 seconds or less song.
Let me tell you something.
But the way it was arranged and the way things worked out, I had to put it out like that because it made sense. But
it's a good song.
On average, I want 220, 225, maybe at the max.
Do you want the 220 because that's what you personally want, or because that's what's in vogue right now?
Attention spans, bro. No one's listening to long 3-verse songs.
But JID and Joyner Lucas both have new albums out.
Following,
they do. But you gotta give them a reason to listen, brother. Look, okay, when I put out Formidable, dog, don't get me wrong, I am local, but I got more streams than I ever thought I could get, because instead of worrying about what this person's attention span might be or what this person want to listen to, I just sat down and wrote what I wanted to fucking listen to.
What you feel?
What do I want to listen to if I were not me?
And listen and check this. We need to get as musical artists, we need to get in that bag to where like painters, they paint what they feel.
Exactly.
And just this is what I came up with today.
Yep.
Instead of we're creating of course you're supposed to do it for an audience in a way.
Yeah.
But you need to create in a way for yourself as well.
Yeah.
Like this is what was in my head.
Yeah.
Don't be forcing things in your head.
No.
What's in your head, put it on wax.
Exactly. And like you just said, don't force something into your head. So many artists, especially now, you're trying to force these trends into something that trends don't fit into. You don't need it. Let me tell you, don't listen to TikTok. Don't listen to Instagram. Don't let these content creators
tell you that you have to pick a niche.
Don't.
Or tell you have to post certain stuff like that. If you're dope, you're going to get found.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you dope, it doesn't matter. If you good, you're gonna be good. Your profile doesn't have to look a certain way. Stop letting them trick you into thinking, oh, you only need 8 posts. You got too many posts. No. Post yourself, because nobody else gonna post you.
No one else. And bro, like I used to let people guilt trip me into not making a certain song, or to, not talk about a certain thing, or, not post a certain way. I don't care anymore. And maybe it's because I turned 30. But I think a lot of it has to do with I've been in this thing for so long. I've been performing for 10 years, not 20, 10. I've been performing for 10 years, and in my entire 10 years of performing and moving around, I've noticed that my best shit, the stuff that got the most attention, was the stuff that I put the most of my emotion into.
Okay. Well, that's the thing though. As songwriters, I tell people all the time, it's not easy unless you're just in there blabbling, just saying stuff. Because my thing is, not only do I want to make this song, I want to make you feel something.
Yeah.
I want to make you feel something. Like I keep quoting songs that I've done. Like, okay, let's say Delusional for once, right?
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm trying to put a feeling. So when I came up with the line, it's toxic but complicated enough to make you delusional. I'm like, okay, people can relate to that. Like, you're in something that you shouldn't be in, but it's so complicated.
Yep.
That's the type of feeling and emotion that I want to get in. Toxic but complicated enough to make you delusional. That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And I'm just trying to, every song I'm trying to have stuff like that.
Right.
Like, I can say, I love you so much, I want to go buy the world for you. Okay, but how
like,
can I say this better?
Thank you. Like, what is okay? I don't write from my imagination. I write from my experience.
Okay.
Because people tend to grasp what they've been through a little bit more than they grasp it's the reason why blaxploitation films in the 70s were so popular. It wasn't just because it was some nigga with a gun. It's because I know Superfly. That nigga live around the corner from me.
Yes.
Type shit.
Yes.
It's the reason why that was so popular. So like when you write, what is your personal experience? You are not so unique and so different that someone else out there didn't go through what you went through.
Mm-hmm. And then you need to you have to try to put what you went through and other people relate to, you have to put it into a different way.
Yeah, make it relatable.
Make it relatable and have it to where words twist with each other. Like play with the words in a way to like, man, that was deep. Mm-hmm. That was beautiful. That was thought provoking. You know what I'm saying?
I have a song called Exhale.
Okay.
And this every time I perform this song, I always have people coming up to me telling me that they cried while I was performing it. Because the lyrics were powerful. They have someone in their life that they lost. I wrote the song about my homeboy, Clifford Earl Jones III. He died in 2020. Someone killed him. And
that at the apartment?
At my old apartment. And so I couldn't write in that moment. The emotion was just too raw. I couldn't concentrate. But I remember one time I was just like staring at my I'm high as hell. Just like staring at my ceiling like, I roll a spliff and take a drag, put it in the air, then I connect with the ancestors from yesteryear. Ooh, that's cool. Wrote that shit down. Before I knew it, like 30 minutes it went by, I had the whole song.
Wow.
Right from my experience. And then to get in the studio and put it down and then to perform it and see tears in people's eyes, I'm like, damn, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Because words are powerful.
Music is the only form of art that attaches itself to your soul. It's the only sound frequency that can cross both hemispheres of your brain without your brain's permission. So you have to be.
And look, saying something like that leads me to another topic of how powerful music is and how you have to pay attention to what your kids are listening to.
Absolutely.
Because music can make you do, say, feel whatever.
Even if you've never lived that life, it can make you
think you have.
I have my sister Raven. She has a little kid, CJ, and this little kid love NLE Chopper. I don't know why, but this nigga he quote the lyrics, he rapped the songs and whatnot, throwing up the gang signs and whatnot. Kid has never seen no parts of the block.
But you have to be careful, because it can influence. It can influence kids, sometimes adults who are definitely not mature enough. To do things that they wouldn't normally do. You're wondering why your kid has an attitude problem, why your kid's pants sagging, why your kid's going to school doing this and that. It's because of what he's consuming.
Even deeper than that, why is your 10-year-old experiencing depression? Why is your 10-year-old experiencing anxiety? Why do they even know what that is? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to really, really, really be careful and monitor what your kids are listening to because
it enters them. It can become them.
Yeah,
it can take a hold on them.
And you can't rely on these musicians to be.
They're not mentors. They're not role models. All they're doing is something that their dream was.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to realize, why she want to get on this and that? You supposed to keep your kid off TikTok.
Thank you.
You're supposed to keep your kid off Instagram.
Well, this is on all the platform for everybody to see. Okay,
get your kid off of it.
Exactly. My thing is, porn is really easy to access, but that does not mean that my kid is watching it.
Too easy. You need to, whatever you got to do, have a lock on your phone. Get your kid a jitterbug. I don't know. Like, get your kid something that's only kid friendly. Only people he can call as family members.
Yeah.
And the only social media he can get on is kid YouTube. Sometimes kid YouTube can be bad because they're promoting homosexuality and all types of things to these kids. So it's like you have to be a proactive parent, but we live in a generation to where we're the parents now, and we live in a generation of lazy parenting.
Oh my God!
Here, take your tablet
and leave me alone.
Long as you're quiet,
as long as you're not bothering me while I'm doing this.
Now, not only mentally do you got kids that are anxiety, depression, blah blah blah. You got kids that are physically messed up. Their necks.
Yeah,
stuck.
Literally.
Like they getting shorter.
They got a permanent.
They got a permanent tilt.
They got a permanent hunchback. They looking like
they're doing this all day long.
All
right, let me do this. All right, a little bit of my Happy Meal.
You know, it's funny. Even some adults are doing that too. Like, I'm seeing adults with that same little hunch in their back. And it's about being cautious, but it's also about being aware. You have to yourself as a parent know what these people are saying, so that way you can know who to keep your kids away from.
Especially people our age, we know what they're saying. We know get it, sex.
You would think, but a lot of them are like, okay, you got people like myself. I don't listen to Sexy Red, obviously. I don't listen to Glorilla, obviously. But I monitor what these people are saying because I got nieces and nephews. And when they're around me, ain't no Glorilla, ain't no Get It Sexy, ain't no Yeah Glow, none of that shit.
You wonder why your daughter 10 years old twerking. I mean, it's because, first of all,
they think it's cute.
First of all, their parents doing it.
Thank you.
Their mom is doing it.
All on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah. So, and then second of all, that's all they're listening to. Mm-hmm. The songs is telling them what to do.
Yeah.
And they're doing it.
Literally.
So,
but again, like it can cross both hemispheres of the brain without your brain's permission. So like, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you expect? Stop being lazy. Monitor what your kids are listening to. And not just that, but, you're a parent. You're supposed to shape what your kids are listening to. My musical taste comes directly from my mama.
Yep. We used to, kids used to get their musical taste from the family reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we listen to while we're eating, because food and music like this. So like
literally,
you're always going to remember, especially a time based off of what you're eating and based off music. And when you put them together, it's like they supposed to mesh in a way to where, okay, this is what I love. But
so much of our life is devoted to bringing pleasure to the senses. And so when all of it is working together, it creates what to us, we interpret it as a happy memory. And those are the ones that are the most clear. Whoa, you know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
So, and again, it's why I take such a responsibility with my music. You're never going to hear me out of context call a woman a bitch. I'm never going to do it unless it fits that particular narrative. And even then, I'm going to be very sparse with that word. I'm never going to unnecessarily, even though my friends say I say the N-word too much, I'm never going to unnecessarily put a brother down on a record unless it calls for it. You call me out on the record, I'm definitely going to launch back at you.
So how you feel? Because we was talking about
J. Cole.
rap, J. Cole, and we was talking about MC battle. So like, okay, say a rapper out here.
Yeah.
He says, you know what? I rap better than you. And
he's a dead man.
He makes a 16. Are you going to respond?
He's a dead man.
You going to respond?
Duh. He's a dead man.
You feel like it's your duty to respond because you call yourself an MC?
I call myself the GOAT. I have to. I have to.
Which is more reason why J. Cole apologizing.
I will say this. In the moment that it happened, I understood.
Wow.
So in the moment when it happened, I understood. I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from, because I think he attacked it from more of a spiritual and a mental perspective. But then, like, I start really thinking about it. I'm like,
because I seen you said something on Facebook, and then I seen you take back what you said, kind of in a way.
A little bit. The post that I shared was, if you see J. Cole apologizing as an L, then you're not mature, or something like that.
You said that first.
Yeah, I said that first, and then like I kept thinking about it. I'm like, no, because you
said you rap better.
Yeah, like you said you rap better than everybody. Kendrick is everybody.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give my opinion on this. Okay, as far as Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole.
Okay.
All right. This is my opinion, and then you give yours.
Good.
As far as the better rapper bar-wise, I'm gonna go with Kendrick Lamar. Now, what he doesn't have, in my opinion, that J. Cole and Drake have is the ability. I ain't gonna say he don't have the ability. They have music that you can just jam to. I feel like Kendrick Lamar, you have to be listening to it from a rap point of view. A lot of his songs.
Really?
He have Don't Kill My Vibe is a song you can jam to. But
of course.
On a
you talking about like the vast majority of it?
Vast majority level, the order of music that you can just jam right in your car, top three, with them three, Drake is number one, J. Cole, then it's Kendrick. But rapping, Kendrick,
Cole, and then Drake.
Better, Cole, then Drake.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I respect that.
Okay.
I personally feel like Kendrick has more bangers than he gets credit for. I think it's because he's such a conscious MC. So like the consciousness tends to override the commercial. Okay. But that's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like Cole got a lot of conscious shit too. But
a lot of but the thing about it is, I'm talking about music that you can, like Kendrick's last album.
Mm-hmm. I liked it.
I loved it. I loved the album, but it's not nothing that you're gonna just listen to every month.
You do have to be in the mood.
You're gonna have to be in the mood. I might listen to that Kendrick album every 6 months, maybe 3 to 6 months. I'll go listen to it. But you got some people's albums that you can listen to every week.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar's album is not that.
Yeah.
But he raps really, really good.
Yeah. But I will say this, what both Kendrick and Cole both have is the ability to reinvent themselves no matter what. Drake does not have that. I don't care what you say.
Well, one thing, but Drake is good at. He's good at grabbing a wave that's hot.
He's a chameleon.
He can get in there.
Yes, he can get in there, and he can make himself fit. But it'll be the same Drake that was in this lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know, Drake is the most popular of all of them for sure. It has a lot. It's not solely about talent.
But Drake has kind of benefited from that Chris Brown method of releasing albums. He's released the same album since Views. I'm sorry.
Doing the same album?
Yes. Chris Brown's been doing the same album since Royalty.
You can't talk about Chris Brown.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. Not on the B4Real podcast. You can't. Chris Brown is today's Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I don't care.
Oh, what?
Today's Michael Jackson. Chris Brown. It doesn't get enough credit.
Chris Brown
is a hard worker. Chris Brown has a lot of music.
Yes.
Chris Brown is very talented.
Yes.
He can dance.
Yes.
And on that stage, and I'm going to see him in Austin in a month or so.
Nice.
On that stage, Chris Brown is unstoppable. He's today's Michael Jackson. If Chris Brown was back then, and Michael Jackson wasn't, it would have been Chris Brown.
I will say this. Chris Brown, performing wise, is today's Michael Jackson.
You don't think musically?
I don't.
Why?
I feel like I'm about to get my head taken off over here.
Do not compare it to the substance of back then.
I am not.
Of course, I'm not going to be the same.
I promise I'm not.
Chris.
Here's why. Michael Jackson had a deeper back than Chris.
What you mean?
In terms of the material, in terms of I'll even say it in terms of like the performances and all that stuff. And you got to remember too, Michael Jackson benefited from not having no social media. He pushed Thriller for 4 years.
You want to blame?
I'm not blaming anybody.
He pushed Thriller. Yeah.
Want to know why?
That is very impressive. The fact that he was able to do that.
Where's Chris Brown's Thriller? Where's his Off the Wall? Where's his hell? I'll make it easy for you. Where is his Dangerous at? He does not have one. Chris Brown has, I don't care what the Chris Brown zealots have to say, Chris Brown does not have a classic album in his discography. I am saying this as an objective listener.
I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. Chris Brown has a classic album per fan. Because to me, Graffiti was classic.
Okay.
That's like one of his earlier projects.
But you don't have.
You're right. He doesn't have a worldwide renown.
That's like widely accepted.
Because we can't argue that Thriller is classic. We can't argue that Dangerous, Bad even was crazy.
Bad was better than Dangerous.
You see what I'm saying?
You know?
So yeah. Shut up, Chris.
I'm sorry. I shut down the Chris Brown argument on the B4Real Podcast. Did I?
I ain't trying to say you shut it down.
I made history.
Get out of my studio.
Man.
But yeah, man. Okay. You have a point there, but he is today's Michael Jackson. I don't care.
Performance-wise, I agree with you. And even looking at the loyal fans, I also agree with you there because you can't say shit to a Michael Jackson fan. But yeah. I fall back on the classic album thing because that is literally the primary function of every artist. Where's your shit?
You gotta have one, especially when. Damn.
I'll even go as far as to say that really Beyonce, if we being real, we don't have
I'm not a Beyonce fan, so
that's fine. But like, I don't think that Beyonce really has a classic album. I personally love B-Day. I feel like B-Day is her best work.
One thing about it. This is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. I'm gonna say it. I feel like Beyonce is overrated. I really musically because I would much rather listen to Jasmine Sullivan's, even Summer Walker's, SZA's. But the thing about it is, Beyonce is just so freaking famous, and it's like
it's hard to say something about her without.
It's hard to say anything about it. I don't really like the music, to be honest. But they say that her. I like her music that gets on singles on radio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when I listen to the album, but they say that her performances are experienced. Yeah. So I would definitely.
But she's a pop star. You
expect that experience.
You kind of have to. You know what I'm saying? When you're at that level, you gotta
put on a show.
Exactly. Okay. And if you don't, people gonna walk away talking about you. Yeah. And that's the last thing you want.
They're spending their hard-earned money.
Exactly. You seen the ticket prices for Beyonce?
Crazy.
Boy.
And then she sold a movie. After
that's like, crazy.
It's just crazy. Like, okay, I took your money. Now give me a little more. Like, give me a little more.
You know what's funny? She took her Coachella shit and she sold it to Netflix, and then she made a documentary.
Sold that. Hey, look, and then drop a perfume.
And then drop a perfume and a hair care line. Boy, look, this is the United States of Beyonce. Man, this is the USB.
Man, this is crazy, bro. You're right about that though. Like back to the Chris Brown. He has a lot of songs though. Like think about
great songs,
which is not taking anything away from him, which is because of writers, of course. But
Michael Jackson had writers too, so I don't.
But who gonna sing them like him? Like he said in
no one. That's the thing.
I heard a record that Usher did.
Yep. I know what you're talking
Transform.
about. Mm-hmm.
Is it called Transform?
I don't think it's called Transform. I think it's called something else.
Something.
Transparent.
Yeah, it's on Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz album.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard Chris Brown's version.
Versus Usher version.
Wow,
and I had to admit. Yeah, because I love Usher. Usher is like
Chris Brown. Usher is boom, but Chris Brown like singing.
And I think it's that I don't want to say aggression, but it's the manner in which he sings. But you know what though? It's that Michael Jackson thing. Like he listened to Michael Jackson a lot. So like
Michael Jackson had feeling.
Those
for
techniques.
Every word.
Yep.
For every word.
Every word.
Oh, and I was gonna ask you about did you even listen to J. Cole's album?
I did.
What do you feel about it? Because I can't lie, I only listened to like a few songs. So what overall, besides the diss?
This is mixtape J. Cole.
Okay.
This is really just mixtape J. This is like the appetizer before we do the fall off. And honestly, if you ask me, I don't think he really finna like release the fall off and then be done. Because he's on too much of an upswing. Like this would be no.
Speaking of that, since you say that this is the mixtape J. Cole, what do you consider? Because we talked a little bit about what an album is.
Yes.
What is a mixtape?
Shit, these days it's convoluted as hell. Like you don't know what's a mixtape now.
To me, mixtape is when you're showcasing your rapping ability and you're not really worried about substance.
Okay.
Like you're worried about substance in a way, but basically you're showing how good you can rap on a mixtape. In my opinion.
I feel that,
But on an album, you're telling a story or putting the audience into a certain mode while showcasing your rap ability because you can rap. We already know you can rap because you did it on mixtape. Right now, you're trying to create some sort of a dialogue between you and the audience type of way.
I can agree with that. Okay. I think that when mixtapes were first really, really popping, like when Dat Piff was still around. Those days,
bro.
I miss that shit. What
happened? Dat Piff, man.
I think it's the copyright that took it down. But man, I don't know.
Brings me to the Drought. The Drought series.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you.
You was a fan of the Drought?
I was.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But
I gotta ask you those questions because it's hard to know what you like.
I'm very complicated.
Okay. What do you like? Do you feel like Wayne is the greatest rapper of all time?
Fuck no. Come on, man. No, Wayne don't believe that shit himself, man. He said that shit for marketing.
One thing about it, though, I believe that Wayne is one of the most clever rappers of all times.
Yes, I will say
the best. His pen is crazy, and he has one of the best metaphorical abilities.
I wouldn't put him in my top 5 for metaphors. I wouldn't. But you got to remember who I listen to. I listen to a lot of East Coast rappers. So
you wouldn't put Wayne in your top 5 for metaphoric rappers?
I wouldn't. Want to know why? I listened to, I forgot what mixtape it was, but I heard like so many different metaphors of pussy, money, and weed. And I'm like, nigga, talk about something else. I know it's a mixtape, but damn, Yeah. But I don't know, man. Wayne is obviously one of the greatest. He's probably the greatest from his region for sure.
One of the pioneers.
One of the pioneers, man. Like I never will not give Wayne his flowers. But when you talk about greatest of all time, man, you got to really think about what that means, man. Like, has Wayne given us enough for us to put him in that category? Like logistically.
I mean, you don't believe it, but I do. I believe Wayne has put in enough work to say that he's on around a Mount Rushmore.
Well, the work ethic, obviously, I don't think anyone really works as hard as him.
And how are you judging this? Is this based off numbers?
This is just based on impact, numbers. Wayne longevity,
the whole generation. I understand.
All we
see is Wayne. Okay.
I could never put the Carter series next to an album from Nas. I can't. Like when you talk about greatness, like, okay, put the Carter series next to the Blueprint, and
you can do that.
I'm saying like, but like literally compare. I'm not saying you put it next to each other and just, see if you can do that. Obviously you can, because, look at who Lil Wayne is, look at who Jay is. But I'm saying put them next to each other and really compare them without being, without being biased. Think about the level of impact.
I have to go back and listen to the Blueprint.
Okay.
And it's crazy because I don't know if it's because of my time. Blueprint isn't even really my favorite Jay-Z album.
It's not
my favorite Jay-Z album. What's the name of it? It's the one with Tom Ford on it.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it. I was one of the only people that liked that album.
Magna Carta is your favorite Jay-Z album.
I don't know why I like it. I like that album. And a lot of people probably watching this going to be like, what?
I'm looking at you like, what?
Because I'm right here with you. I actually like the album.
I like the album too, but I'm not going to. That's not his best.
I'm not gonna say it's his best. But
you saying that's your favorite? Okay,
that's just one of my favorite Jay-Z's. I have to go back and I don't think I've gave the Blueprint because I was so young. When did the Blueprint come out?
2000.
2000. I was freaking what? I was born in 93. I was 6. 7. So it's like I couldn't digest the Blueprint.
Well, duh. But I've retroactively gone back.
I haven't. I haven't just went and just said, let me sit here and I need to.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do that together.
We can. We should. Absolutely.
And we can pick apart the Blueprint. That'd be crazy. I don't think nobody's doing it on YouTube.
No. Well, you have maybe a few, but they're not gonna take the time to listen to the whole thing, start to finish.
We can. You know what? We can compare the Blueprint
to the Carter.
Nas and the Carter.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Let's compare. But
which Nas
Carter
album?
Whichever one you think is one of the best Nas albums or the best. Let's compare Blueprint to that.
I'm not putting Illmatic against shit. I'm not doing that.
Why? Because you think it's top?
Not just that, but if it loses, I'm gonna be real mad.
Oh, so you're not gonna be biased. You're gonna actually say
I want to be unbiased, and I would be completely biased if it was Illmatic.
So how will we do that? Will we listen to song for song, or will we listen to the whole Blueprint and then listen to the whole Illmatic?
I say we should go song for song, okay. And then just kind of compare. Like, all right, gotcha. Well, which is which? I look at it like I've listened to the Carter series and I've listened to the Blueprint series. I've found so much in the Carter, not the Carter, but the Blueprint. It's like every time I go back to listen to it, I hear something else that I didn't hear before. I'm like, damn, how do you even?
Yeah.
Where does it come from? And then he didn't write down like nothing. So it's like, it makes it even more fascinating. Like the song allow me to reintroduce myself. He wrote that shit. He didn't write that shit, but like he came in and out the studio every hour.
I was watching an interview. I don't know what rapper it was, but they were just saying Jay-Z is always ready.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, when y'all get in the studio, you turn the beat on. Well, y'all already discussed y'all was going to the studio. He's ready.
Yeah.
Like, he's just ready.
Yeah.
It's
but studio time's expensive.
Yeah.
Time is money. And on top of that, man, like when you got that kind of a schedule, like Rockefeller, this before Roc Nation, Rockefeller was like, go, go, go. So I guess Jay-Z just didn't have the schedule.
Do you feel like Jay-Z reached that realm or level to where a movie can be made about him?
Give it another 10 years.
10? Okay.
Maybe 5.
10?
Maybe 5. Let's give it 5 years and let's see what he does with these next 5 years. I feel like he's about to do something else. And we'll just see what happens. I don't think he would want a movie made about him, though.
Not now, right?
I don't think ever. Jay-Z's not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Someone would have to bring him the idea and he would sign off on it. Because I don't think, no one in NWA said, let's make a movie about NWA.
Okay.
That was someone that walked up to them like, hey, I want to do this. I have a script. And then, Dre and Cube and Yella.
I always wondered how that stuff worked. Like, okay, you want to do a movie by NWA, but how does it work depicting characters in a way that's like, okay, Suge Knight, for instance. Mm-hmm. How does that work to where I can just make a movie and depict him as this evil villain and that's okay? Even though he probably was. But like, how do I get the right to do that?
Well, first of all, like it depends on how powerful the studio is. Because sometimes the studio can just say, well, look, I'm going to make this movie. And whether I have the people who are going to be in the movie's permission or not, I'm still doing it. Tina Turner really didn't sign off on What's Love Got to Do with It. She hated it.
Is that fine though? Like, can you use my name and likeness to make a movie? I need to research that.
Someone has to purchase the rights first. The rights have to be.
Oh, that means someone's own. Okay, someone owns the name Tina Turner or something that's
the
not
name,
Tina
the
Turner.
catalog.
Okay,
all that stuff has to be considered.
That's what that is. That's why a lot of artists and stuff don't have a lot of say so over what's being made
because somebody else.
I get it because you're like you're Chris, but you're Nusoul. So, like if
I sign a contract with Def Jam,
Nusoul belongs to. I get it. Okay.
But that's actually how the Jacksons had to change their name from the Jackson 5 to the Jacksons, because Motown owned the name the Jackson 5, even though that name was created before they even got to Motown.
Wow. But they owned it.
They owned it. They owned the name. And these labels will do shit like they'll put it in language you can't readily identify. You
don't understand.
From here, for eternity and across the multiverse. I'm like, multiverse?
Yeah, like it's like
some shit I don't know.
It's like you think that basically when you get signed to a label, whatever your artist name is, Nusoul, you have to realize that that's not you. That's a product that you and that label come together to sell.
It's literally a product. And this is also why artist development is extremely important, because you have to do whatever you can to sell this product. You look at these major labels and they have so many people saying so many bad things about them, which I agree with all of it, obviously. But in the end, I feel like labels are needed. I feel like artists are also needed, but we have to keep in mind these labels are playing a bigger game than us artists are. They're playing a game of who can collect the most hits. And what's funny is the artists think that they're the ones playing a game, but it's not them. It's the label.
Because you have to think about it. It's like the what's the word I'm looking for? The thing that we're in right now with female rappers. It's like, okay, let's think of it. I never played it, but I understand the logic. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yes.
Okay, I'm Universal, and you got a sexy red? I got a Nicki Minaj.
Right.
Oh, you got a sexy red? I got a Glorilla. Oh, you got a Glorilla? I got a Lotto. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like the labels are doing this right here, and that's why hip hop gets watered down, because it's like, it's not that. I don't think the labels, I think it's people in the labels that actually care about the words and the lyrics, but at the same time, you have to play the game. The end game is money.
Yeah.
And it's like,
what produces the most money?
They're coming out with this. I have to go find this.
But this goes back to the audiences. The audiences literally,
they dictate what's hot.
You have way more power than you think you do. You really have to just.
The thing about it is, you can't stop listening to what they want you, because you got to think about it. I was watching Russ. Russ is a great person to watch interviews, because he'll tell you, he was like, you can pay for a number one hit. Absolutely. So it's like, it's songs that get flushed into your. It's been a song where I listen to, and I'm like, man, this is garbage. Why do they keep playing this? And then over time, I'm just like, okay.
But this goes back to what I told you earlier. It's the only frequency that can cross both hemispheres of the brain
without permission.
Without permission.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense.
Go look that up. That's real.
You go shopping, you hear it, and once you start hearing it so much, it's like, you know what?
That's also why music is played so low in the grocery store,
because it's entering you without entering you.
Yes,
it's crazy.
You're not really listening because you're shopping. Your mind isn't focused on what you're hearing, but it's still absorbing it nonetheless.
It's crazy, man. And it's like I even heard that about this off topic, but they do that at like Disney World and stuff.
Yeah,
they don't just do it with music. They do it with smells, wind.
Yep.
Like they'll have fans blowing different stuff, and then they'll, like, if you walk a certain path, I heard that they have fans blowing food in certain, and it can make you have a taste for something that you wasn't even thinking about.
There's actually a certain region of Disneyland when you walk through it smells like cookies, because you're passing a bakery. They want you to kind of be in. It's full immersion. No, not full of moments, full immersion. You're literally immersed in this world that Disney has created, and it's really diabolical but genius at the same time.
It's freaking crazy genius.
It's insane, and it's like, honestly, I've never went to Disney World before. I really want to go.
I want to go. I'm going to go.
I gotta go. I just gotta, if for nothing else, just to see what they've been talking about.
And I hate that I didn't get to experience it as a kid, because like it's crazy, because as adults we know, oh, it's a man in a suit, but it's like as a kid, it's like it's like a magic.
It's goofy.
Yeah, your parents are taking you to this magical place, and I just want to be able
the happiest place on earth.
One day I want to be able to provide that type of experience for them and things like that. So yeah, that's crazy. But man, this is a long podcast. I have long ones, but with as much substance is crazy. And the fact that we got so much substance and we not done, it is crazy.
Well, you invited the right one.
We don't have all that. You coming back?
I'm coming back for sure.
What I was about to say, what do you feel like overall, the state of hip hop right now, and where it's going to go, and where do you expect and want it to go?
Well, where I wanted to go, I want there to be plenty of space for Nusoul and Black Coffee to do our thing.
Oh, of course.
But honestly, man, I see a number of different directions it could go.
Okay.
And that's really intriguing to me as an artist because I'm really curious to see where this thing goes. Earlier in the podcast, I said we only got 12 notes to make something happen with. So we can go, if in a perfect world, we can have a perfect balance. We have lyricists over here. We got the pop stars over here. We got the slut rappers over here. We got you know what I'm saying?
Hey, what do I fit in?
You're not really a rapper. You're not a rapper. You are an R&B. You fit with Giveon.
What? No.
Yes.
You sing too good.
Nigga, you sing too good. The fuck?
I got to get myself more credit.
Y'all drop a like and a comment, and y'all tell them how good his music is. Go listen to Delusional. Go listen to, what's the other one?
Like That.
Go listen to Like That.
I got Like That, Gravity.
There's a bunch of Gravity is my shit.
But look, the state of hip hop, I feel like is going to a place where it's not hip hop no more.
No.
For one, but I like it and hate it at the same time. I like it and hate it at the same time. I love the fact of diversity. I love allowing different realms for other people and stuff like that. But we tend to, as young Black people, we can't focus on more than one thing at a time. It's like we're giving all our attention to this when we can let's just spread it out. But it's just like it's just tough. It's just tough.
Where I would like for hip hop to go, I would like to see the gatekeepers come back. Simply so we don't have, like you said, like, hip hop is everywhere, and some stuff is like, is this hip hop or is this not hip hop?
That's kind of like why I like the fact that this is not hip hop, but like Usher and even who did it? Who went on tour? What are one of the hip hop gatekeepers that went on tour recently?
Oh shit,
50?
50 went on tour.
50.
Nas also went on tour.
I
So
thought
the
Busta
Wu-Tang
did something, but I'm not
Busta's about to go on tour.
Okay, I don't know the accuracy of that, but I want that.
Yeah,
like. Put Nas, go do even if it's a small tour, just go do and see what this do. Or when Drake rap, bring out these gatekeep. I hate to call them pioneers. Bring out these pioneers and stuff like that. Let's just see if the young crowd would gravitate towards it. If we do collabs with these artists. Yeah,
that's really what I want to see. I'll bridge the gap. My thing is, it's room for everybody. You don't have to be new or old, because if Nas and Killer Mike have taught us anything in the past couple years, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you have something to say, then goddamn it, say it.
And I like that you brought up that it doesn't matter how old you is. If you got an artist that's putting his paintings, I'm talking about painting, into a space and selling it, you never say, oh, he's 50 and
no.
But just because it's rap is just a form of art, bro. It's a creative expression.
It's a creative expression. It's also one of the only true American art forms, but it's also one of the only genre of music where you get pushed out because you old. You never gonna see a country artist saying, "Get out, Garth Brooks." You never gonna say you never gonna see an R&B artist tell Usher go sit down somewhere. You never gonna see that. For some
reason, you can't rap and be 40. What's wrong with it?
Because when hip hop started out, it was dictated as young people music.
Okay,
this is the sound of tomorrow. They didn't actually say the sound of tomorrow, but that's kind of the context in which it was taken in. And I think that we bought into that so much, and we have to remember we weren't the people that put that on there. You know what I'm saying? It was the labels. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop letting
It was the labels, and you got to realize why they did it because of...
Yeah. We have to stop letting people come in and just
tell us how to act towards what we did.
Exactly.
We created.
It's become a $1 billion business, and that's actually a problem. It's not a benefit. It's not a flex. It's a problem, because anytime you have $1 billion business or $1 billion industry, you better believe Black people ain't running that shit. It's the white folk.
And our culture gets watered down.
Our culture gets watered. It's gotten watered down.
That's why we have no culture, because every time we get anything, I'm not going to put a race on it, but someone comes in and says, I can make money off of this.
Yes.
And they sell our culture. And then our culture becomes whatever they want it to be.
Yes. You know, I can directly link the rise of hip hop to the rise of Michael Jackson, because in 1983, I'll say, you know, you start seeing Michael become the Michael that we all know and love with the popping and locking. But before that, there was no such thing as urban street culture being put into the mainstream. So when Michael Jackson did it, all these white people's like, is there money in hip hop? Is there money in breakdancing? I didn't know that. Let's go.
And you know what I just heard? I heard that the Super Bowl was competing with
In Living Color. That's how we got the Super Bowl performances.
That's why they put Michael on it.
That's why we get halftime. You know, they wanted to make sure that they had, look, this is the NFL. You know what I'm saying? We need that draw. If you are leaving the Super Bowl to go watch something else, then that means you're not coming back to watch the rest of the game.
And the thing about it is, they saw ability to capitalize off of that. And you know, artists don't get paid to do the Super Bowl.
No.
They get paid off of popularity.
They get paid off of exposure. What I like about it now is like there's so much more thought being put into it. Like I saw Usher's, I'm like, damn.
That was good.
That was really good.
It gave me a feel back to when that Confessions, bro.
Boy.
Man, bro. Like, I can remember where I was. Listening to Confessions.
I was going to Homer Drive Elementary School.
But at the time, though, we didn't realize we were listening to a masterpiece.
We ain't know.
We just like, this is a good song. Well,
I heard Caught Up. I was like, nigga, this different.
but we wasn't musically like, man, this is art. We didn't know that we were a part of history. It's crazy because that Usher Confessions, we didn't know what he was confessing. We don't know nothing about.
Technically speaking, that was Jermaine Dupri confessing, not Usher.
Well.
He was cheating on Janet Jackson. He wrote about the shit. Number one, how the fuck do you cheat on Janet Jackson, nigga? You wrong for the anyway. But you know, seeing the Usher thing, seeing the Dr. Dre thing, you know, those were really, really cool. I can't wait to see what they do next.
Oh, and SZA on that guitar.
No, not SZA. Her.
I said SZA.
Wow.
I like SZA though. That's why. But her on that guitar solo, even though people saying it, I'm pretty sure it was pre-recorded, but she did that. Yeah, she still performed it. She did that, but of course, like you. A lot of things are pre-recorded, but I'm pretty sure she pre-recorded it. Yeah, she still had to play it. She still had to play it. You know, they like she wasn't doing that live on stage. Well, pretty much, of course, it's a production. We need it to sound good, not only for the people in the room, but the people on TV. You got to take into the only way to do that is sometimes you got to pre-record. Sometimes you have to pre-record. You got to take into account, man. This is a stadium. Like this is like different. Get to hear it like it needs to be heard. That sound system way different. Yeah, it's different. And then we need it to sound good on TV. Exactly. So that too. And that's probably why it sounded extra crispy. Yeah. They mixed it. They still had to mix it. Yeah. Do I believe she was playing right there? No. But do I believe that she can play that? Yes. Well, I think why they feel like she didn't play it is because they heard Alicia Keys' voice crack and on the live. In the building. It cracked in the building. Yeah, in the building. But, you know, we all human. But then they edited that part so it don't crack on the YouTube video. It sure didn't crack. Whoa. Go back and listen to it. But I know it cracked because I seen people on their snaps and it cracked. Yeah. It cracked on okay. Yeah. But you know, I can't wait till I go to the Super Bowl and rock that shit. Hey, we gonna have to collab. We are. But we've been talking about that. We've been talking about this too. But timing. Bro. And once we make something, bro, we gonna just shock drop it. Yeah. We're just gonna put it out. I don't want to tell nobody about it. We're just gonna say, hey, we got this song. Go listen to it. We should. We've said too much already. Oh, like, dang, we gotta stop talking. Y'all be quiet. Y'all just, yeah. But anyway, man, I want to thank you for coming on the B4Real Podcast. Absolutely, man. We got plans to do stuff in the future. Yes. Hey, conglomerate, man. When we could come up with something, man. I think we could definitely make some good content, though. For sure. We got some good like chemistry as well. Based on this conversation, facts. Like, come on now. Today, though, yes, we realized. I think it took maturing. And it just took time. And a little separation. Man. A little separation. I love you too, dog. Yeah, but yeah, business nigga. I want to thank you guys for watching the B4Real Podcast and thank Nusoul once again for coming. B4Real Podcast is available anywhere where you listen to or watch your favorite podcast. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube if you want to watch it. Just listen to it if you one of the people that just like to listen to podcasts while you're driving, man, you can listen to it on anywhere that you like to listen. Until next time, man, just be for real.